Welcome to another episode of the Adrienne Ross Show, where sports and culture connect. Well, after months and months of waiting, the WNBA training camp tipped off. I always want to say kicked off. Kicked off, tipped off, started, began. You get it. And the Indiana Fever in particular shared a whole lot with those who were interested in watching. And of course, I'm one of those people interested. So training camp started on Sunday, and then they were in the gym on Monday, in the gym on Tuesday, and then a break on Wednesday. Well, you can't really call it a break because it was media day, and it looks like a whole lot was going on, but it was media day, so they weren't. It wasn't training camp per se, and then back at it on Thursday. So Thursday was the fourth day of training camp. And now we are about to get into preseason games. This weekend is going to be fun. So make sure you are subscribed to the Adrienne Ross Show. Make sure your notifications are turned on. Make sure you're hanging out with us for these games. So I want to go into day 4, Thursday, day 4 of the Fever training camp. They shared with us, let me get it right, 2 minutes and 23 seconds. So I'm going to play it through, and then we're going to come back and look at a few things more closely. The Indiana Fever named this video Staying Sharp, Indiana Fever Camp Day 4. Yes, Staying Sharp. Remember, Stephanie White has said many times we have to stack the days. So you've got to build on the day before. You've got to stay sharp. You can't go back. I love the still that the team picked for this video. When you click the URL of this video, you have Aaliyah Boston with that smile on her face. And I like it because I feel like it's a great representation of what we've seen anyway in training camp, where they are working hard. They're intense. The coaches are intense. Stephanie White for sure is intense. The players are intense. They're communicating. They're doing the hard work, and yet they're having a good time. On the court, you can see Aaliyah Boston being one of the main ones who's got a smile on her face, who just seems like she's flourishing. And when you hear these other players talk, many of them mention her when they talk about the player who encourages them, the player who spoke to them before they came to the team. So she does a lot for this team, and she's working hard, and yet she's smiling and having a good time. I know everybody wanted to run with the narrative that she was out of shape and all that, but I'm going to say what I said before. During Unrivaled, I said, well, when I see Aaliyah Boston, I don't see anybody who is hacking up and coughing up a lung. Even in the one-on-one tournament in Unrivaled, other people were gasping for air. I said she was telling the ref to hand her the basketball. Some people didn't agree with me on that, but when I see her in the training camp, even as intense as it is, I still see somebody who seems to be like she's in good shape. So we know no game has been played yet, and we gotta see her be aggressive, and we'll talk about that, I imagine, during this video as I'm about to get into some of the footage here. But I like her being the representation there of the two sides, the intensity and yet the smile on her face. So let's get to this, play it through, and then break it down a little bit.
All right, y'all, let's have a good day. Okay, sometimes after a day off, it takes a little bit of time to get going, but we don't got time for that. Right, we got to start out first quarter. Okay, first quarter, be sharp. Let's get back. Here we go, work my 3, 1, 2, 3. Work. We got to make people uncomfortable. They can't come down and make easy entries. They can't cut to wherever they want to go. Level of physicality and intentionality in everything that we do on the defensive end of the floor.
So let's go through it again. As I see something I want to point out, I'll do so. There's that fun I talked about, right? She's working hard. She's having fun. That's what it's all about. And that's what we're doing here on the Adrienne Ross Show. As I told you, we are going to have fun in this season 2025.
All right, y'all, let's have a good day.
And they make sure they got that paper still blurred out. You can only see what we let you see. You will not read our notes.
Okay, sometimes after a day off, it takes a little bit of time to get going, but we don't got time for that, right? We got to start out first quarter. Okay, first quarter, be sharp. Let's get back. Here we go, work 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so we got some screen setting here. And maybe I should just give it up. Y'all know I keep talking about turning the proper way when you set a screen. Our sports ancestors would be so disappointed in us. Nobody turns the proper way. I guess I should just let it go. I just let it go. But anyway, as you can see, Brianna turned, and it's not just picking on her. Nobody does it right anymore, it seems, in the professional level anyway. So she turns her back on the ball. No, don't do it. But anyway, they do it. And they don't seem to mind. Nobody seems to mind except me. I must be a fundamentalist. Y'all think that's going in? You already saw it before. But even if you hadn't, you still think it would be doing this. Splash. Okay, I see some aggression. They use that pad to give her contact. Hey, Keith Porter is always got this big smile on his face. So anyway, she's gonna take the contact back into him and be aggressive to the basket, and then smile about it. Highlight reel, y'all. Highlight behind the back, and then the finish. Let's just see. Remember the pass between that Caitlin gave to Kelsey, who Kelsey did the clutch and did the reverse. Yeah, they said she said I got more in my pocket and behind my back, and I can do this with Aaliyah. Okay, once again, the screen, and they're communicating. Go through. So much talking, so important. I love that communication. And what I love about this, you have Kelsey inbounding the basketball, and she's going to pass the ball to Lexi. Lexi never brings the ball down. That's a good way to get it stolen if you bring the ball down or put the ball on the floor. Too many people waste dribbles. Too many people bring the ball down. Lexi's going to meet the ball where it is, up high, where Kelsey gave it to her, and she's able to finish without getting stripped. See that? She just goes straight up. Never brings it down.
Yeah.
A veteran direction. Listen, this is what transition basketball could look like for the Indiana Fever. If they get up and down the floor, if they run and get up and down the floor and people fall asleep, Caitlin's going to pull that trigger. She's going to knock down that shot. And the faster they play, the more opportunities there will be for that, I believe. And in this case, Yvonne must have forgotten that this is Caitlin. And there it is again. There it is again, bringing the ball up the floor. And this is not just what you've seen from them. It's not just a fast break, meaning once you get somebody, you get a stop or you get a rebound. Like they're taking the ball out of bounds. Natasha Howard is taking the ball out of bounds. They still want to play fast. It's easier when you don't have to take it out of the basket to run a break, but it's possible if your mindset is get the ball off the floor as quickly as possible. It becomes like transition, even when you're taking it out of the basket. And then Caitlin can drive forward, get you backing up, and then she just steps back, doesn't need a lot of time, and just drains the shot. Okay, so this is what I love. So I got a little excited there. So this is Jillian, right? Jillian Elaine, Tawana, she's smiling. And as I talked about the other day, she's on ball defending. They even brought an official up in here for this. But anyway, she's on ball. And so what is she saying? Ball, 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 ball. That's what you're supposed to be doing when you're guarding, when you're the person guarding the person with the ball. Now she's saying ball, 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 ball. So the communication is not lacking here. Yeah, just want to look at that again. Aaliyah Boston is in attack mode, and I'm expecting it to carry through because, like I've said many times, when you're playing with the Dewana Bonner, when you're playing with the Natasha Howard, their level of intensity just brings out a certain deeper, more aggressive level in you. And I see it here and in the other play I showed you.
We got to make people uncomfortable. They can't come down and make easy entries. They can't cut to wherever they want to go. Level of physicality and intentionality in everything that we do on the defensive end of the floor.
And speaking of communication, that's Stephanie White articulating exactly what she expects from this team. The intensity is high. The joy is there. Hey, we got an opportunity to see something from every day of training camp. And now it's time to get into the preseason. And it really is, well, game time, excuse the pun, for those who are trying to get a spot on this team. There are some players, they don't know their fate, and they'll get an opportunity to try to prove themselves in these preseason games. And it starts for the Fever on Saturday. So I hope you're hanging out with me for that. Day 4 in the books. God bless you abundantly.